Verona. Don Peters is out on the floor as we'll get set to join Donna DeVerona and Becky Dixon over in just a minute. Now, Don, this has been a very interesting day for you, watching the team evolve without your own members out there. I know that had to be difficult for you.
Yeah, we had a lot of bad luck going into this competition with Sabrina Maher and Do Yamashiro with some physical injuries, and that was kind of tough for them and for me to take. But as the competition went on, I can tell you the team that we're fielding is going to be, they are the best team we have right now, and they're going to be a very good team.
Don, how do you handle that, your own personal feelings? You've dedicated as much time as anyone as to putting your gymnasts out there to give them at least the chance to compete, and then suddenly, you know, for whatever reason, the body fails on them. Well,
I mean, that happens in all sports, and you know, it's very difficult to watch a young kid that works hard for 4 years, like Do and Sabrina have, and overcome so many adversities, and then to come out and get to the last meet like this and then have it go bad. It's really tough, but again, that's part of sports.
Don, I hope this isn't a surprise for you, but earlier in our telecast, Mike Jackie said that now that the team is all set and done, he wants to get all the interested parties involved, including Bella, yourself, and the Strausses, and hopefully work out a compromise so that everyone can work together and get everybody involved. And in his words, I believe, try to get Bella to go to Seoul and help the team. Can that happen? Do you want that? Do you want to see that happen?
Well, I hope so. I mean, I said all along the thing that we need to do to make this thing work is for everyone to cooperate in a team joint effort, and that's what the Olympics is all about, and that's what the United States is all about, and our team. So I think that's going to happen. I'm optimistic that everybody will get it together.
All right, Don, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you very much, and good luck in Seoul.
Thank you.
Don Peters, the 1984 Olympic coach. There is Bella Caroli, and standing right near Bella is Donna DeVerona. Donna?
Actually, Al, I'm with Mike Jackie at this point, and I just heard that Don Peters had said he hoped he'd work something out to make sure that Bella goes. If he does go, is there any idea if he'll be able to get on the floor? Because that's what he was protesting before, that he needed to be with his athletes.
Well, that's something we'll have to determine, Don. And I think a lot of it will depend on the credentialing situation. You know, we're only allowed 2 coaches on the floor. We always have 1 male and 1 female. But I think as soon as we're done, which is we got the athletes now, and we're going to get the personal coaches, we're going to get the Olympic coaching staff together. It's our plan that we will make sure that the athletes have every bit of support that they need. We're going to make sure that Bella gets what he needs, because he needs to prepare his kids, just like the Strausses need to prepare theirs, and Mark Lee with Missy, and Becky Buick with Kelly. So we're going to do that. That's our job. That's what we're going to get done. We're going to have a great team in Seoul.
So you're really telling me that you've figured it out and he's going to be on the floor?
I didn't say he's going to be on the floor. We're going to make sure he coaches his athletes.
Okay.
The other part of it, that's something that we'll just have to wait and see if we can work that out or not.
Back to you, Al.
All right, Donna, now the crowd, which in large part has remained in their seats, they want to meet the team officially. And that's about to happen here at the Seoul Palace. Kathy, Mike Jackie said we're going to have a great team. Is that possible?
I think that we can have a very good team, especially if all the coaches get together. But one of the things I think that we are going to need to do that in some of the other teams that we've had in the Olympics that we haven't done is we have a tendency to break on some of the apparatus at inopportune times. We need them to be strong mentally. We need them to go into the performance without their tail between their legs and really fighting and knowing that they are a good team.
A year ago at the World Championships, there were many, many mistakes as the United States on the women's side finished in 6th place. But this is a better team with some stronger members. Phoebe Mills is much better than she was a year ago. So is Brandy Johnson, so is Shelley Stack, and Melissa Marlowe is peaking at just the right moment. And also out there with that group is Rhonda Fain, who will be the alternate for this team heading to Seoul. And the last 2 members of the delegation, Don Peters and his assistant coach, Marta Caroli, Bella's wife.
There's a tremendous amount of talent out there.
And now the award presentation to our Olympic team. Presenting the award for our first...
Let's go to Becky Dixon, who's with Bella Caroli.
Bella, Don Peters and Mike Jackie have both just said that they hope that everyone can work things out and that you will be going to Seoul. What will it take to get Bella Caroli to Seoul?
First of all, I have to know what I'm going there, why I'm there. Sure, I won't go as spectator, and sure, I won't go as visitor to Seoul, Korea. If I'm going to coach, if I'm going to be there to represent the best interest of the kids, yes, I'll be there.
So you're saying you will go if you can be the coach on the floor?
Exclusively.
Bella, this is a wonderful day for you. 3 gymnasts on the team and 1 alternate.
Right.
What is it about that Karolyi team that they have just stood out here?
Well, the kids just prepared. They were prepared for this one. I felt the obligation. They feel the obligation to represent the country right, powerful, into a good athletic manner. And I believe they showed that.
Bella, you talked about obligation. Do you feel like you have an obligation to go to Seoul to be with your gymnasts? You have 4 of them going.
Certainly, I do have the feeling. I do have the obligation. I feel it, and I assume it, and I would do it if the people would give me the opportunity to exercise it.
All right, Bella, thank you, and congratulations today. Al?
All right, Becky, it should be pointed out that last night in the men's competition, the University of Nebraska had 5 members of the team that will be going to Seoul, 5 of the 7. And no one screamed out for Francis Allen to be the coach of the U.S. Olympic team. He's the coach at Nebraska. That job will go to A.B. Grossfeld. But this is a much different situation. Bella's such a large media celebrity, and that's tough for Don to battle because that's his biggest flaw. At least it seems that here.
Well, you know, one of the other things that I wanted to mention is that these athletes are much younger than the men who are competing. They're much more able to compete on their own. When you're this young and you're so dependent on your coach to motivate you, it's nice to have your coach there with you.
The ceremony continuing out on the mat. Also out there is Kenny Rogers. Of course, you know Kenny. He has recorded a song in praise of the gymnasts. Hope Spivey getting introduced to the crowd. It's Kenny Rogers right there in the beard.
Hope Spivey said she never thought she could get this far. 3 years ago, she was a Class 2 competitor.
Gymnastics team for the Olympics in Seoul in September that was determined today. What began 4 years ago as the mission for Seoul for hundreds of gymnasts from Baton Rouge, Chicago, Salt Lake, Allentown, Los Angeles, and the rest of America is now down to the dreams of 6 young women. Others who practice their routines just as many times or perhaps had their bodies fail them, as we saw today, missed by tenths or hundredths of points awarded by judges most of them have never met. Having survived these trials, and they are trials, these 6 now head to a place they do not know to face other young women they know too well. Like Daniela Silivash of the world champion Romanians, whose smooth refinement can be unbeatable. Or Elena Shushinova of the Soviet Union, whose explosiveness is matched only by the level of inner strength reflected in her stern poker face. The chances of beating them are small, very small for the U.S., but all the American 6 wanted to earn was a chance. The same type of chance that Max Schmeling gave to Joe Louis. The same type of chance Dave Waddle had in 1972 and that the U.S. hockey team had in 1980. They now have that chance, and that's all they ever wanted.